So we were looking at easy versus hard first, and we came up with the easy first is where you go and the coach gives you simple instructions and sort of almost baby steps, so it gives the information in baby steps, and then you've got the hard first where it's more cognitive, and the coach gives the information to you at a higher level, so you'll have a sort of a better coach, as want for a better word, to deliver that information, so that it's kind of, when the information is delivered, then the questioning and the other sort of side of it, you can ask that coach that question and understand to a greater level than the easier coach, because it's just the baby steps and it's just minute information given at a time.
And it was found that like people that were taught the easy first rather than the hard first, they found it easier and they learnt the skills better than just literally learning a skill as a whole, rather than when it was broken down and they could learn like different steps, they found that they were able to learn better that way.
So the hard first sort of training was to give more complex skills and drills to do, whereas the easy first was the opposite, where it starts off very basic, giving more of the participants more time to learn the skill.
The easy first, they said they excelled in the early sessions, and the harder first found it more difficult early on in the studies, but excelled later on, which shows that there's kind of a need for both, but it's juggling where you give the easy instructions and where you give the hard. It says that it's about the hard had the disadvantage at the beginning because they found it harder to gain the skills and grasp
the skill first.
Whereas the easy instructions gave a better basic understanding of the fundamentals, but found it, when it came to the complex skills, that it was harder to grasp because they were still giving you minute information. You weren't able to question the coach and you weren't able to sort of ask for that feedback.
Question, sorry,
Yeah.
whilst we're going on. What model education theories could you link to that, the hard first approach? The reason I'm asking you these questions as well, because we talk about in your work about linking, bringing stuff in, original thinking and stuff. This is what we're trying to get at. Not get it wrong.
I suppose, like TGFU, in the sense of
Getting them in the game straight away.
Possibly, but I'm thinking about theorists. What? Think broader. Think more to do with education. What have you hopefully learned? Some of you.
it's more like decision training.
No, think wider. Think outside this module. So hard first assumes that we're asking the young people we're working with to do something that maybe they haven't done before or find very challenging. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Easy first. We can assume that they know and are fairly competent at doing it. So it very much mirrors a skill drill, game-based approach, yeah? So it's hard first approach versus this is what they already know.
Yep.
This is what they don't know, but we want them to know. And that links to what? Theoretical approach. Yeah, which links to zones of proximal development, yes. Okay? So you see how, when you come to do this piece of work, and now you're in a third year, don't get bogged down in just because of this module, that you just read the papers that are in this module. You need to begin to start thinking more laterally. Yeah? Does everyone see how that fits?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Yes, Ryan?
Yeah, like they were saying over to Cathwood and stuff, like Bruno developed this thing called like a spiral curriculum, which basically said that he goes and teaches all these children the hardest skills first, or the extreme expert steps, and then obviously just in that hope that they later on, when you come back to it in the future, have at least some knowledge of that harder skill, so they don't have to go back to the easy steps.
behaviourist or easy first approach to the great seducer?
Get immediate.
Okay, because suddenly the job that I'm supposedly being paid to do is taking place right in front of my eyes.
I think it's pressure as well because it's not just about delivering it to, like you were saying about the participant, but it's also the pressure of, you know, of what your coach and what the parents say. If you're delivering technical things and they're not getting it, and you're still delivering that 10 weeks, then you've not got a job at the end of the day. Like, because people aren't going to want to employ you when the kids aren't understanding, and they might understand like 2 years later, but at the time, if they don't understand, they're not progressing. Then
yeah. So I was going to say, guys, you alluded to it a little bit as you were talking, but talk to us a little bit then about environment.
they said that it was like the easy first is a non-cognitive behaviour. So it's like it's set up in a friendly environment and somewhere where they feel comfortable and where they have the facilities. Whereas a hard first is more set up in somewhere where you can excel. For example, set up in a school, and then you were set up in Chelsea Football Club Stadium. So there's a difference. So external pressures are put onto it. And they said that it was affected by your age and your status. So depends where you're progressing from. So if you're starting with a complete novice, or you're starting with someone that's got already prior knowledge, and that affected whether you started with an easy first or a hard first, and that affected the results of what came out.
So some people might find it harder to progress from easy first to hard first.
If you were
For
to
being
do
in
hard
one.
first, sorry, go on, Steph.
No, go on, finish off.
If you were to do hard first, what would be the biggest challenge as a teacher or coach?
For them to be able to
Your
develop their
develop it.
skills, because like they may not, because it's not broken down, they may not be able to actually within that concept know what they're actually supposed to do and how they could actually progress.
Yeah, so I think doing the hard first approach might seem easier to some people to coach that session, or because I might have to give them less technical information, less planning and so on, but actually I think it's the other way around, because hard first, it's that fine line between how hard is this going to be, because if it's too hard, we're going to lose them straight away. So if you're looking at the players, the students' affective domain, you really want them to be enjoying the session, engaging in that right level of challenge, because if they're not, if it's too hard,
It's not happening.
are they going to come back, are they going to be motivated? And same if it's too easy.
That's down to you as a coach to judge, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a difficult thing to do. Challenge.